YouTube, welcome back to another video, welcome back to another vlog. Sunday evening, trying to get into a little mini tradition back at Jack Sparrow's with fish and chips. We're sitting here on the wall this time watching the sunset, even though, to be fair, I think we're still like 40 minutes out from where the sunset is. But it looks absolutely gorgeous out here today. And the water is so calm, so flat. There's actually some people swimming right over there. We got the same as last time. We got fish and chips, battered cod, and then a Greek salad, except this time, because I had a look at the menu, a Milo malt milkshake, chocolate milkshake. I've had a sneaky little taste and it is delicious. That's my treat for today.
Would you like any?
Yes, please. So we actually decided just to wait until sunset because it's really nice today. Food was delicious, milkshake was delicious.
Sunset, wonderful.
Sunset is gorgeous. So, going to pick Katie up. And this is actually the second time I've seen this guy here. Whoa, he moves fast. Don't know where he's gone. Not poisonous. I think there's only 4 species here in the Cayman Islands. I think it must have been about a year ago actually we saw him out in the back. And I set up the Osmo then and I got good footage of him actually sort of scaling by the camera. He's completely camouflaged when you try and look for him in the bush. Well. So it is now Thursday and still not done. So there's actually been a lot of drama with this. I finally got in touch with the owner of the company Fine Print, basically asking what the story is with my car and why is it just parked at West Shore Plaza for the last week and a bit. I drove by yesterday after dropping Katie to work. Just saw just parked there, no license plates, nothing. Obviously in the state that it is now, it's a shopping centre, more or less. They've only got a tiny office above a computer store, so you've got to go through the computer store, go up the back stairs to a tiny little office area, and they have like a small printing room where they print some of their signs and they cut it there. So essentially, you know, no license plates, no door handles either. Had a lot of rain the last few days, so like, you know, it's not even taped up. The police could just show up and just tow it away. It looks literally like an abandoned car. I had gone with this company, you know, I had heard good things. I got recommended by a car detailing company. I was under the impression that they had a warehouse. That's where you should wrap all vehicles inside an enclosed space, you know, to limit the dust, etc. that's flying about. But obviously when I met with the installer last Thursday, just at a storage unit, they were wrapping the car outside that storage unit for whatever reason, I don't know. So much so that the property manager of the storage unit was walking around. She actually came over to the guy that I was talking to, the installer at the time. She was complaining about the car being parked there and it being worked on. The installer said that the owner knew everything, it was fine, don't worry about it. Anyway, so he had then told me that I would get the car back on the Friday. Heard nothing back at all, chased up, followed up, heard nothing back until obviously I sent the photos to the owner yesterday. I said, please contact me, I can't reach you. He sent me a voice note late last night. Also saying that we'll get it done for you, but you have to pay for the new wrap, etc. Got on the phone with him this morning and I got into a bit of an argument because I wasn't happy with how they were conducting everything in terms of, you're telling me you're wrapping it in a warehouse when I'm finding out that you're wrapping it in the sun. So naturally, when you're wrapping it in the sun, it's baking the body, it's heating up essentially the lacquer and everything. There are weak spots. When I gave it to him, everything was flush, smooth. I went over everything with a clay bar, etc. Took everything off on the car, so it was very easy to work with. The wrap that I had, which is Vivid Plus, which is one of the best vinyl wraps in the game for vehicles. It's strong, it's durable. Whereas other wraps are cheaper looking, you know, you can definitely spot the difference. So that's why I went with vinyl, and it's a double layer in terms of once you lay it down, you peel off the protective plastic on top. The tack on that, so the sticky bit, is extremely strong, so that matched with the car that is baking. I'd say the temperature of the car itself must have been well over 115 degrees Celsius. So when you wrap, you effectively need to lay down the wrap, lift it up, heat it. You know, you're constantly lifting it back and forth, and because the car is so hot, it's pulling up the lacquer everywhere. So that was one of the main issues, and that's why I met with the installer. And again, that wouldn't have happened if it was done inside a warehouse. So you would have had to have let the car cool down as well. So if I dropped it over on the Monday, give it a few hours for it to cool down, so it's at a perfect temperature for it to be wrapped, it wouldn't have pulled any of the lacquer up. It would have been fine. The installer then said that he would swap, so they would use their material, and as I mentioned in the last video, their material is like pressure sensitive basically, so it only sticks when there's pressure applied, so that you can tack it down, lift it back and heat it and all that kind of stuff, and it's absolutely fine. So the owner, he was telling me that I have to pay for the new wrap, and I've just been given conflicting information. I was told to meet one guy at the beginning to give the go ahead. He wasn't the guy that was installing it. Worst company I've ever dealt with, so much so on the phone he said, "Come collect your wrap, I don't want to do business with you." What I have noticed on the car as well, now that I've looked at it, is blade marks all over the bit. So obviously when you're laying down the wrap and you've got to, you know, cut the wrap on the car, you have to do it very finely so that the blade doesn't actually connect with the paint underneath. And like, as an experienced wrapper, you have that down to a fine art basically. Not on this car. So let me show you some bits here. So obviously all the white, and it's even very hot to touch there, it's actually red underneath, which is odd. You thought it would have been primer. So that's all lifted up. There's a bits there that are lifted up. So here's some lacquer that's lifted there. All of this is new here. Here's where the blade mark is. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's pretty deep as well. So obviously when he was laying for the door, you know, he cut here so he could tuck away. And it's the same here. So obviously he's done the hood, but he's basically scratched all along here. And the worst thing is, it's not even done properly. That is the, I don't know if that's focused or not, but that is the worst quality wrapping I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, he didn't even take the aerial off like I thought he would have. He actually cut a line here. So what lazy wrappers do is they would just make an incision here and just split it there. But no, he kind of came along here, which makes zero sense. Yeah, and he didn't take the washer off either. Back to square one. Obviously I don't have any more of the satin black because he pulled it off the roof for whatever reason, I don't know. So he laid that and then just pulled it off. So that's all gone because there was only enough to do the roof. And obviously he's done the hood, and then he did the whole left side, but he's taken that off anyway, and that's about, I think, 5.5 feet that he's completely wasted. I did buy enough to kind of do the car and a bit left over, but I think all those like leftover bits are completely gone. I don't even think I have enough now to fully complete the car. I just can't catch a break. Super sorry for the rant. I don't really like to rant, you know, like this. But what I will say is fine print, stay away from them. I don't know if you're here in Cayman watching this vlog and you want something wrapped or signage or whatever, they are terrible to deal with. The owner literally does not care, and then obviously they promise X, Y, and Z, just not the way it pans out. But what else can I say? Anyways, very sorry for the lengthy video this week. That's just how it is, I guess. Story time. You get to really know what I'm going through. So today's Saturday. After filming that little segment, I actually just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna spray paint it. Not spray paint the entire car. Well, every panel I'll be respraying because I cannot find the correct color code. I can't get it in like an aerosol can. It would have to be done through the gun and air compressor, which I'm not going down that road. Went to one of the auto stores and we found a similar shade, but it's got a metallic in it. What I'm planning to do is split the car. So from factory, Fiat 500s can come split in like a two-tone color, like half being whatever color and the bottom half being whatever. So my plan is to do the bottom half red and then the top half white. This makes it extremely easy for me in terms of sanding down the bits that I need to spray and spray painting those bits and taking them as panel by panel, makes life so much easier, and the same goes with actually wrapping it as well. I'm now breaking it down into very easy small panels to kind of do. So far it's turned out quite alright. I've got the boot, I'll show you here, all done and dusted for today. You can obviously see the two different colors here. Now this is the strip that I'll be wrapping in white, so I didn't really mind it not being perfect up there. But the different shade is, it was a red pepper color, which didn't quite sort of look great, so we went with Inferno Red, which is actually a Chrysler color, and Chrysler, Fiat, they're owned by the same people, so the color was similar enough. All this here will be white, and then all of this here will be red. Same for the bumper. The bumper front and rear I can take off, and I can do that. The other bits I need to do whilst on the car. This is looking pretty good so far. I just need to give it one once over with 2000 grit sandpaper, and then give it a good polish and buff. The reason I was doing this is because obviously the bonnet's already white. I'll keep that, and then we'll just do all this. I'll redo the roof in white, and then again we'll respray everything like that. So that's the plan, and don't worry, I won't bore you as the weeks go by while I'm doing it. I'll just show you the end result whenever that may be. I'm already sourcing all the paints and sanders and all that kind of stuff. So doing it panel by panel, I'll have to be doing it here. I don't have a warehouse, etc., which ideally I've contacted so many people to see is there daily rentals. There's just not. Yeah, anyway, I think I'll leave it there. I know this is a lengthy video this week. If you did stick through the whole thing, I really appreciate it. But as I said, just letting you in on how things are down here. But anyway, thanks very much if you have watched it. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing so, and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, because that definitely helps the YouTube algorithm. And until next week, don't know what I have planned for next week. We'll see you then. Cheers.